Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this video I'm going to be showing you all how to make this bracelet right here. This bracelet is my own original design, and it is the 80's Fishtails bracelet. And I'll be showing you how to make this little design here on the monster tail. And yeah, so, well, what you're going to need for this design is a monster tail, or pretty much any loom that has 6 pins kind of in a circle like this, and then a space in the bottom for the bracelet to grow, because it's a bracelet that grows. Then you're also going to need a hook. I'll be using a metal tipped hook. And then you'll also need a clip. I'll be using a C-clip. Of course, the clip needs to be a rubber band bracelet clip. Then you're also going to need rubber bands, and there are 2 groups. So we have the A group there, which is for the fishtails that are in the design, including the center one. Then the B rubber bands, which are going to be the 8 bands, and they give the 80's Fishtails its name because they're the bands that will be twisted up in the middle of the design. So in the description I'll have the number of bands you'll need to make 1 inch or 1 centimeter of the bracelet. And yeah, just go ahead and use the pause button to figure out how many bands you'll need and everything else. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So to begin, you're going to have your monster tail with the red dot on the left, and we're going to go ahead and get 2 fishtail rubber bands to start. We're going to place both of them going across these 2 center pins, just like so. Then we're going to do the same thing for the left pins and also the pins here on the right. So once you've done that, now we're going to take our first 8 band, or you can use the same color as your fishtail bands, but what we're going to do with it is we're going to place it going across the middle pins, but we're going to twist it this time. Then we're going to need our hook, and we're going to move the top part of the shape we create to the left pin, and I slowed this clip down since I went a little fast. And then at the bottom part, we're going to move it over to the right pin, but we're also going to keep it in the middle, as you can see here in the clip. So go ahead and do that. Once you have that there, we can push the band down, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, except we're just going to use 1 rubber band this time for each of the sets of pins. So 1 fishtail band on the left, 1 in the middle, and 1 going across the right. Now we're going to start looming. So looming will be the same for the whole design. Here on the left, we're just going to grab the bottom band, pull it up and over. Then in the middle and the right pins, we're going to pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band and pull it up and over. Same on the right, pull back the 8, grab the bottom fishtail band, pull it up and over. Then on the same side, it's going to be the exact same. So on the left, you just grab the bottom band, pull it up and over the pin. In the middle, pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band, pull it up and over. And then here on the right, the band's a little loose since it's our first time going through, but you can still go in and grab that more loose band since it won't really be on the bottom, and pull that up and over. You'll end up with something like this here. We can push the bands down some, and make sure we turn our monster tail around so the red dot is back on the left. It's very important that the red dot is always on the left when we go to place more bands. So we're going to add 3 more fishtail bands, 1 going across each of the sets of pins, 1 on the left, middle, and right pins. Then the looming will be the same. On the left, bottom band, in the middle, pull back the 8 band, then grab the bottom band, pull it up and over. Same on the right, pull back the 8 band, grab bottom band, up and over. Then make sure that you flip your monster tail around, do the exact same thing on the other side. Bottom band on the left, pull back the 8 band, bottom band in the middle. Same on the right. And for me, this band was a little bit loose, but it's alright, it should be, since this is the first time or the first few times we're looping bands. Alright. Now we need to make sure that the red dot will be back on the left, and I'll turn mine around here. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you a pattern for making this design. So we're going to take an 8 band. We're going to place it the same way we did with the cat band. We're going to twist it going across these 2 middle pins, just like so. Then we'll get our hook, and we'll move the top part of this shape over to the left, or stretch it over to the left, and then the bottom will get stretched over to the right, and you get a shape like this here. Now we're going to go ahead and do what we've been doing. We're going to get 3 fishtail bands, and we're going to place each of them going across the sets of pins. So one goes across the left pins, one goes across the middle pins, and one goes across the right pins. Now we're going to loom. So we're going to get our hook. Here on the left, it's the same. Bottom band goes up and over. Here in the middle, we got to pull back that 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band. So we're going to completely ignore that other 8 band that's there, and we're going to loop that bottom fishtail band up and over. And then the same thing here on the right. So you pull back the 8 band we placed, grab the bottom fishtail band, not that 8 band that we had before, and I'm grabbing it there, and pull that one up and over. Alright, now we gotta do the same thing here on the other side of our loom. So, same thing on the left, bottom band up and over like a regular fishtail. Here in the middle, pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band, not the 8 band that we have there, and pull that up and over then. Then same on the right pin. Right, make sure you turn your monster tail around, and the red dot is back on the left side. Now, one more time, we're going to get 3 fishtail bands, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place them going across these 3 pins here, or the 6 pins, just the same. Then, we're going to loom, so we get our hook, we loop the bottom band here on the left, up and over. Here in the middle, pull back the 8 band, ignore any other 8 bands that are there, and grab the bottom fishtail band, pull it up and over. Same on the right pin. And then you repeat what you did here on this side on the other side of the monster tail. So on the left pin, bottom band, middle, pull back the 8 band, then the bottom fishtail band. And then same thing in the right side. And there you go. Alright, so I'm going to show you, I show you 2 more times, but I'm only going to show you 1 more time because it's really an easy process. And right now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take off the 8 bands that you will have accumulating here on the pins, because you're going to need to take those off eventually and periodically so the bracelet can grow and you won't get, a cluster of bands all over your loom. So you need to take these bands that are above the 8 bands that you're removing off of the pin they're on and onto another pin with your hook. So that's what I'm doing there. So it's only the middle and the right pin that you have to do this. The left pin you can leave alone. Make sure you do this carefully. Once you've moved the bands from above them, the 8 bands, you can take the 8 bands off the pins and then move the fishtail bands you had moved back to the pins they were on. Now you can only do this when you have finished the pattern. So you need to make sure you place the 8 band and then add 2 layers of fishtail bands. And then you can take the 8 bands off. So you can't just take the 8 bands off whenever you want. You just need to know the pattern, and once you know the pattern, then you'll know when you can take the 8 bands off. So I just speed this up here, taking off the other side. And then after this, I'll show you the pattern for making your bracelet longer one more time, and then I'm going to show you how to take the bracelet off your loom and close it off. Alright, so you're going to need, the pattern here is we're going to need an 8 band, and what we do with this 8 band is we twist it going across these 2 middle pins. Then with our hook, we extend the top part of this 8 to the left and the bottom part to the right. And it's very important that that red dot is on the left side every time you place an 8 band or any bands at all. If you don't do that, the bracelet will not come out right. So once you've done that, now we're going to add our fishtail bands, our first layer of them, and they're going to go across the left pins, the middle pins, and the right pins, just like all the other fishtail bands are. Then with our hook, the looming process is still the same. So you loom the bottom band on the left side, and in the middle, we pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band, there we go, pull it up and over. Then on the right pin, it's the same thing. Pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band, and pull it up and over the pin. Alright, and I'm just doing some adjusting right here, but you don't have to do that. Alright, and then don't forget to loom the other side. Same thing. Make sure you pull back that 8 band and grab the bottom fishtail band. And there you go. Alright, so now make sure you turn your monster tail so that the red dot is back on the left again. And now we're going to get our second layer of fishtail bands that we're going to place the same way we've placed all the other fishtail bands. So we're going to place them going across the left, middle, and right pins, and then we're going to loom again. So on the left, bottom band up and over, in the middle, pull back the 8 band, grab the bottom fishtail band up and over, and then on the right side, same thing. Then on the other side of the monster tail, when you turn it around, the looming process is the exact same. Same pins and everything, so I just sped up this part here. And then make sure your red dot is back on the left. And now I'm going to go ahead, and that's the pattern actually, so that's how you would know when you're able to take the 8 bands off. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how you do it again. So, and I'm talking about taking the 8 bands off. So make sure you move the fishtail bands off of the pins that are above the 8 bands, and you need to move them to another pin on the loom. And then you can use your hook to take the 8 bands off, and then move the fishtail bands back to the pins they were on originally. Then you need to make sure you do the same thing on the other side of your monster tail. And you only need to worry about the middle and right pins of fishtail bands because that's where your 8 bands are at. They're not on the left, so you don't need to worry about the left pin at all. If you need more time to take the bands off, if you're doing that, then just use the pause button. And here I'm just adjusting my bracelet. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get this bracelet off of your loom and into a bracelet and on your wrist. So to do that, you're going to need your hook and your clip. Put them to the side for a moment. Then you're also going to need 3 fishtail bands, and you'll need one more later, but we're going to start with these 3. So we're going to place them just like all the other fishtail bands we've placed, going across the pins like so. Then with our hook, it's just like finishing off a regular fishtail. We're going to grab the bottom 2 bands and pull them up and over on all 6 pins. So I'm doing that there. Alright, and then I'm pushing the bands down. And now what we need to do is we need to get all of those bands now onto the 2 center pins. So here, for the left band, I moved it into the middle, and notice how I take the top left band and move it into the top middle. You need to make sure you do that on your loom as well, and then same for the bottom, it needs to go to the bottom. And then the right side, use the same principles there. And now everything should be on those 2 middle pins. Now we're going to go ahead and get our last fishtail band we're using. We're going to stretch it across those 2 middle pins, and now we have 3 bottom bands that we're going to go ahead and loop up and over the pin and onto that band. Then once we have this, we're going to move one side of the band over to the other. So I grabbed one side of that rubber band and moved it up to the other pin with the other end of the band. And once you have that, you'll get your clip and attach it to what is on the pins there. And once it's on, you can take it off. And now we're going to attach the clip to the beginning of the middle fishtail on the other end of your bracelet. So you'll kind of want to find those beginning bands that you had and just kind of pull them out a little bit so they stick out. And to make it easier for you to put the clip on, you're going to get your hook and stick it going through those 4 little loops, which are actually just 2 rubber bands, but it's 4 loops. And in this video I caught an extra one, so I took that off. And now we're going to get our clip and attach it to those 4 loops that are on our hook now. And for me it takes a little while because mine's a little too short. It's not really a bracelet. And once you have your clip on all 4 of those loops, you can take them off your hook, and now you will have your 80's Fishtails bracelet. So now it's time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make my 80's fishtail bracelet successfully. And now you have one, it's cool and all. Go crazy with the colors, do some different color combos with it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video, other than thanks for watching and bye!